Howdy, howdy. It would seem like I'm like 3 minutes late. I had a little bit of an issue with the software as far as the software is concerned. So I tried to uncheck an option because I'd rather do that myself. That would be starting and stopping the stream. However, if I don't let it do it, it won't start the stream. So that's kind of an issue. Don't mind the blurriness and all of that. I'm kind of it's kind of dark in here to be using a webcam, but anyway, I'm not going to stay on the large webcam view anyway. I'm going to go ahead and get kicked over. We've got two streams for you this evening coming in from Israel. We've got both Tel Aviv and we've got Haifa. And I've got the audio of both Tel Aviv and Haifa running in the background so that way if there's any sirens or anything that go off, we'll hear it. It's kind of one of those things to where it's kind of an any day now type of situation as far as Iran and Israel is concerned. An interesting thing to note, and let me get that screen up top here. An interesting thing to note is the Institute for the Study of War is not working. I'm going to try to refresh the page. I'm refreshing the page and nada. So the Institute for the Study of War, or understandingwar.org, is not working. Invalid SSL certificate. So I find that very, very interesting that their website is currently down. Very interesting. I don't even know what to think about that, to be honest. So hopefully I've got the chat thing fixed tonight. As you can see, blow me. I have just the regular browser chat brought in. I don't have anything really fancy or anything like that. And YouTube is throwing a fit at me. Stream's current bitrate lower than the recommended. Well, that's because I didn't set anything like that. I may very well be going into using OBS, or another version, I should say, of OBS. It's OBS with a plug-in that will allow me to do all kinds of good stuff. It will allow me to have chat bots. It will allow me to have a means and method to put a much fancier chat up on the screen, as well as other little things, like if somebody subscribes to the channel, it'll pop up on the screen and all that good stuff. So I'm learning this stuff. I'm not used to having a chat-based type of performance, but that's what this is. That's as long as people show up. I see somebody must be there. I got a heart. Oh, now I show one viewer. So thank you, one viewer. It's one of those things, the field of dreams. Build it and they will come. It's, a lot of people are used to, well, they should be used to over the years, me changing up how it is that I do things. I've never stayed doing the same thing ever. I've always kind of changed it up, and so that this is just another change. However, this is in a direction that I had never really done before. I'd never really had a chat type of based program, and that's what this is. So we're on Haifa. Let's take a peek over at Tel Aviv, see how things are shaking over there. Tel Aviv's looking, I've got to say it, Tel Aviv's looking kosher right now. It's definitely kosher over there in Tel Aviv. So we'll be keeping an eye on those two streams as long as they stay up. Again, as I was stating a little bit ago, and I find this very interesting, the Institute for Study of War website is down. So, and I thought that was really, really super interesting, especially considering it's down due to a invalid SSL certificate. So, very interesting stuff. Don't know. Don't know what the deal is with that. Have no clue. I do have 4 articles up this evening to talk about. One of them is actually a nuclear power plant incident in Georgia. So I don't know if folks have really heard about that. I don't think I've seen the YouTubes lighten up over it, so I don't know. So let me go ahead and do that article real quick, bring that to your attention. It says here, alert spurred by transformer fire at Plant Vogtle, and I don't know how that's pronounced, a nuclear power plant in Georgia ends. So it's a good thing that the alert ended. It says a transformer fire triggered an alert Tuesday at Plant Vogtle in Georgia. According to the officials with Burke County, the alert ended at 2:36 p.m. Georgia Power has not said much about the incident. The alert was first declared around noon Tuesday, according to the company. Officials said no one was hurt and the plant was at full power. Among the 4 categories of emergencies designated by the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, an alert is the second least serious. The incident happened at Units 1 and 2, the older part of the plant, according to the company. From outside the plant grounds Tuesday afternoon, steam was coming from all 4 cooling towers. An alert means an event has occurred that could reduce the plant's level of safety, the company said in a statement. There should be no, and I love this, there should be no danger to the public. Yeah, shouldn't be. County and state officials will be involved and prepared for any necessary response. You will not need to take any actions unless directed to by the state and local officials, the company said. Like when Chernobyl, they should have just come out and said, well, put your head between your legs. But that's not how that happened, and nor would it happen that way in the good old United States of America, because that's not how they do it. They, nothing's wrong, right? It's like 3 Mile Island. They still hang on to that. Nothing ever happened, nothing was a problem, and there was clearly a release. So, not good. So anyway, I wanted to bring you that, and we'll kind of go from there as the evening goes on. So if anybody's got any questions, again, this is a new type of quote-unquote news show that I'm doing. It's my intent is for it to be based around the chat, to have more of a conversation with you than just sitting here reading news, because that kind of is lame. So let's go take a peek over at Haifa, see what's shaking over there. Not much, looks pretty quiet in Haifa. Again, with things like the Institute for the Study of War being down like that, and the constant barrage of we're going to do it's coming from Iran, it's, in my opinion, probably any time now. Not that, I don't know. I'm just not. I'm not one that's going to sit there and fearmonger it like some channels do. I'm just not going to do that. I think it's foolish to do that. I am not going to do it. Oh wow. So what is the name of the show? Hang on. Because I show that I at one time logged into a different one. Oh, yeah, I'm on the right one. Again, I was playing around with settings and trying to get the right settings for the show. I've been in OBS for a fair part of the day because I'm trying to get it set up to where to record playing VTOL VR, to be honest. But I want to be able to pull a nice 4K video from VTOL VR. So spent a fair amount of the day dealing with that, just to realize that after I recorded almost an hour of video, that my settings were lame. My output, my recording settings were way low, so the quality, even though it was 4K, the quality of that 4K was really bad. So I changed that. I'll have to try again tomorrow or what have you, and see if it's a little bit better. But I spend a little more time gaming, not a lot. I believe it or not, I'm still watching news very closely. Different things going on. And again, I don't want to be one of those individuals out there that's banging the fear drum. I mean, what's going to happen is going to happen. And there's no reason for anybody to get all worked up because it's not going to change anything. Whether we're worked up or we're calm doesn't change a thing other than our ability to act. And that's it. As far as what's happening on the outside coming in, our attitude, our emotions, doesn't make a difference. As far as our space around us, it makes all the difference. And the calmer that we can be, the better the difference that we can make. And so all these channels out there, they're constantly every day going, it's coming, time's short. And I could go down the list and show you it is insane. Every single day they're putting up titles like that. Time is short. You know, you better act now. And I'm just paraphrasing, and it's every day. And it's just like, you know, you don't know this. None of us know this. Obviously things are crazy. I mean, just take a look at what they did with Elon Musk yesterday. First his site, X or Twitter was DDoSed unbelievably bad. I mean, you got to hit that hard to take that down. And you have the EU threatening Elon with prosecution for misinformation just for interviewing Trump. And I haven't listened to it all. I've listened to about an hour of it. And it is what it is. I do, if I could critique one thing on it, I do wish that Trump would stop exaggerating everything. Like he said at his Butler, Pennsylvania rally where he was shot. He mentioned tens of thousands of people there. There wasn't tens of thousands of people there. Maybe 1,000 from what I could see. Maybe a couple of thousand, but tens of thousands, that was severely exaggerating the attendance there. And I don't get it. There's no need. I mean, he is truly pulling a hell of a lot more people than like Camel Toe's bringing in. But, the exaggeration, it makes him look bad. For those that aren't all wrapped up into the persona, and I encourage people not to get wrapped up in the persona, because then we overlook things, and it's important that we don't. It's important that we hold, regardless of who it is, whether it's our choice or not our choice. It's important that we hold their feet to the fire, and so things like that, could settle down a little bit, but. Very good, from what I did hear, very, very good conversation, as what Elon called it. He didn't call it an interview. And very good. I know that here locally, and I encourage people, get involved locally. Somehow get involved locally, because that's where it counts. And I'm trying to, right now, locally, encourage interest in getting these... the people that are going to be running for 2025, to get them to sit down and do interviews. But I would like to look at them, as Elon did, as more of a discussion, more of a conversation. It's not, my intent would absolutely not be to grill them. That's not the intent. The intent is to find out about them, find out about their ideals, find out about their plans. Not sitting there grilling them, because then you don't find out anything. All they do is sit there and defend nonsense, and that's not getting anybody anywhere. So it's not the type of person I am. It's not what I would do. The only time that I would do something like that is if there was an issue that was being absolutely sidestepped or avoided. and then that does have to get pressed. But there really isn't anything that I am aware of that would need to get pressed like that. It would simply be just a calm, relaxed conversation, learning what the different candidates are about, what they stand for, and what they plan to do. So we'll see. We'll see. They aren't going to willingly do this. It's going to take the people of the town to kind of say, hey, this is really what we want. And once that first one does it, see, and this is the thing, it's free advertisement for them. Let me have a sip of coffee. It's free advertisement for them. And anybody that jumps up to do something like that is actually going to look, in my opinion, better than somebody that tries to avoid doing it. It's my opinion. So far, from what I've seen, they're kind of avoiding anything that I'm doing like the plague. And I don't know if it's because they think that I have nefarious motives or anything of sort, and that's not the case. I also, one of the other things that I had told, and I did find out that it is perfectly fine for me to do this, I had said that, made the statement that anybody that, puts together a petition to run for either, there's a couple of board seats coming open, the mayor's position's coming open, and it seems like there was another position coming open. Anybody that wants to petition to be a candidate, I'll sign their petition. I don't care if they're on the other side of my ideology, my thought processes. I don't care. I will sign their petition. I will sign their petition to be one more name to help them get on that ticket. Why? Because that is how you have a choice. You don't have a choice by only one person on the ticket or even two people on the ticket. I'm a good nut, huh? What's up, Rutsa, to you? I think as many choices possible is best. And so that's the intent. That is the intent. Why is that not showing up on the screen? See, that should be refreshing. Refreshing. Hang on here. Let's see what happens if I refresh. Still not. I see it here. I don't see it over there. Interesting. Why does it not like it? It surely doesn't, though. Surely doesn't. I'm trying to get it to pop back up. Anyway, and that's why I want to use the other program, because I know that Siberis, or however it's pronounced, one of the guys that I game with, I know that his works fine. He doesn't have any problem with it at all. So that is so interesting. That is not working, and it just disappeared off the frickin'. That is interesting. Let's see if I can pop it off and back on. No, now it's not showing nothing. Let's pop over to Tel Aviv and see what happens. Yeah, gone. Just gone. Wow. Okay, well, I guess we won't have the chat up tonight. I thought for sure I had it in the bag tonight, but I guess not. So anyway, I just want as many people to be able to run as possible. And I think choice is the best thing. And the reason why I want to interview them, is, again, to find out what their intent is. One of the issues that we've had is a lot of rubber stamping going on. And I guess it's all good and easy, if you get something that comes before you, everybody just rubber stamp it, it's all good, pass it on, make it an easy, quick night. But man, I'll tell you what, it's my opinion that our town financially is being fleeced. And that's one of the first areas that we need to address is the fact that the spending is just out of this world. And one of the things that's so bothersome to me is they're hiring out for a lot of this stuff to be done. They're hiring out for pretty much anything and everything. And it's like, why are you doing that? Why not just employ somebody? I mean, and I wasn't really joking when I said send me an application. Because I have no problem learning something new. I have no problem with them coming to me and saying, hey, we want to upgrade this and this building. What do you know about it? What can you find out about it? I don't have any problem sitting there and learning something new in order to perform my job. I ain't got a problem with it. And as long as I'm being paid, and I don't have to make $1 million an hour, as long as I'm being paid, I'm definitely gonna sit down, figure it out, put something together that works, instead of them having to spend outrageous amounts of money to have this company and that company come in and do something that should cost a fraction of the cost. I don't know, So I know it was mentioned today, somebody that had ran previously, they had made the comment that it's amazing the people that come out of the woodwork right off the bat looking for favors. And like I had told him, that is where we need to start addressing it. That is right there. What candidates need to do is they need to come out and make it known who it is that's approaching them, what it is that they're saying, because that's how we stop the corruption. It's got to start by dealing with those that are expecting these favors. And I know that's not going to make for a popular person, but this isn't about being popular. This is about doing the right thing. And I'm not quite so sure they even know at this point how to do that. I don't know. Hang on, let me pop out this other chat window. Try to get a refresh on it. I don't see... Oh, there's something. Let me try to pop this in there. That other window may be bunk at this time. It is highly possible. Because I had to refresh my thing and yeah. I think it's really odd that it just completely disappeared. Yeah, I don't think it's coming back. Why did that do that? That is so interesting. That's the right address. Yeah, I don't know. It disappeared and it won't let it come back. Very interesting. Anywho, I guess I could do another story. Let's check on Haifa real quick. Haifa still looks pretty calm. Let's go ahead and jump into one of the other stories here. Russian Navy trained on nuclear strikes deep in Europe. Which 32 NATO targets will be hit first? I am watching chat though, so if anybody's got any questions or comments or whatever, feel free to speak up. Russia has trained its fleets for nuclear strikes deep into Europe in a possible conflict with NATO, according to classified files seen by the Financial Times. The FT report fully corroborates the War News 24/7 information. Maps of targets as far away as the west coast of France and Barrow-in-Furness in the UK were detailed in a briefing for officers ahead of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. The FT has already reported from the same cache of 29 secret Russian military files that Moscow had promoted the use of tactical nuclear weapons in the early stages of a conflict with a major world power. The latest revelations show how Russia envisioned a conflict with the West that would reach far beyond NATO's immediate borders, planning a series of crushing strikes across Western Europe. The documents were presented to the FT by Western sources. The files, compiled between 2008 and 2014, include a list of targets with missiles that can carry either conventional warheads or tactical nuclear weapons. Russian officers emphasize the advantages of using nuclear warheads at an early stage. The presentation also shows that Russia has retained the ability to carry nuclear weapons on surface ships, a capability that experts say carries significant additional risks of escalation or accidents. The maps, which were created for presentation purposes rather than operational use, depict 32 NATO targets in Europe for Russia's fleets. The targets of the Russian Baltic Fleet are largely located in Norway and Germany, including the naval base in Bergen, as well as radar installations and special forces facilities. Russia's Northern Fleet could hit defense industry targets such as the submarine shipyard at Barrow-in-Furness in northwest England. The presentation also shows how its doctrine could be applied to potential wars in the Black Sea, the Caspian Sea, and the Pacific. The scenarios include wars with current allies such as China, Iran, Azerbaijan, and North Korea. And it just goes on, and I did share this article out on Twitter, so if you want to read the whole thing, it is absolutely up on Twitter. So, check back over at Tel Aviv. Like I said earlier, things are looking kosher, pun intended. Let's see. So anyway, I have been watching pretty closely the situations going on both in the Middle East and in Russia. And it's pretty nuts, to be honest. It really, truly is pretty nuts. More coffee. Didn't mean all the slurpy slurp. It's good coffee. What can I say? But I've been watching it. I'm not freaked out by any of it. Even though all of it could get serious. I'm not freaked out about it. It's like I said before, it's not going to change anything. Ooh, looky there. It would appear, and this is good news, that the Institute for the Study of War is back alive. So they're back alive. However, they do not have their article posted yet for today on either Russia or Iran. So I'm sure that'll be forthcoming. I mean, they literally just got this fixed. So, because we just checked a little bit ago. So good news, they are back up. And I don't know which conflict could get big fast. I mean, they both could get big fast, but I mean, I don't know which one is more likely to. Of course, claims that Ukraine had struck the nuclear power plant, Zaporozhye. There's questions around that. I don't so much question it myself. I just don't, because it is what it is. I mean, it's one of those deals to where it is considered anyway a legitimate target. So for Ukraine, because it doesn't make sense to me, but for somehow in their sick, twisted heads, they can see that as an advantage. I guess because they can blame Russia? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know if their intent is to hit it and then say that Russia did it. I don't know what their plan is. But I don't think that Russia hit the nuclear plant. They don't need to hit the nuclear plant. And I think Russia at any time could step up the game and really put a hurting on Ukraine. I don't think, at least up until now, that that's really been the intent, but I do think that that is about to change. I do think that they're going to step up things, and I think Iran is going to help them in doing that. I've said it before, multiple times, that Iran, when it comes to short and medium range missiles, Iran's got some of the most top-notch stuff. And the reason why is because that's where they focused. They focused on their short and medium-range missiles. While nations like the United States and Russia were limited by this treaty and that treaty. So it would appear that North Korea and Iran both are feeding. Both North Korea and Iran have really good short and medium range missiles. Iran's probably got a little better than North Korea, but North Korea's aren't a slouch by any means. Again, neither North Korea or Iran was bound by these treaties, so they went full tilt when it came to short and medium range weapons. And so it appears that there are North Korean, and I don't know if I said Iranian earlier. If I did, I apologize. But it appears that there are North Korean missiles showing up on the battlefield in Ukraine. And that is very, very interesting. I'll go ahead and do that article too. Get it out of the way. With the North Korean KN-23 missile, Russia's fatal blow in the Kiev area. Said Russian forces may have used a North Korean missile, presumably the KN-23 or Hwasong-11, during the airstrike against the Kiev region at night, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said today. And that was on the 8th. So, right? No, the 11th. Sorry. I hate when they change the date around. The 11th, 2 days ago. According to initial information, the Russians used a North Korean missile in this attack and yet another deliberate terrorist strike against Ukraine, he wrote on social media. Expert pyrotechnicians are working to determine the exact data about this missile. Before Zelensky's statement about the possible use of a North Korean missile against Kiev, there were other relevant reports on social media, which even identified the missile, the KN-23, citing Ukrainian Air Force sources. It is recalled that due to the Russian attack, a 35-year-old father and his 4-year-old son were killed and 3 other people were injured, the Ukrainian Emergency Services announced. So, don't know, man. Don't know. But, they're clearly starting to use munitions from other sources. So, I do believe that it's starting to get light in Tel Aviv. I'm trying to remember I don't remember what time it would be. Let me look it up. "4:37 a.m. currently in Israel." So, getting there. I don't know that Iran would attack this early in the morning. I would think it would have been a little bit sooner. My guess would be sometime between midnight and 3 a.m. But who's to say? But I did want to keep a close eye on it. That's Tel Aviv. Let's go back on over to Haifa. Things are looking pretty calm there in Haifa as well. Looking to see blinky lights and stuff to make sure that we are indeed a, yep, okay, I seen some lights in a little building on the street that were blinking, so. I'm looking at the top of a building over, I don't know if you can see my mouse or not. I don't think so. I'm looking at the top of a building, and there's a red light on top of it, just to the left of center. And the light's not like blinking, it's just steady red, so. I looked around, and sure enough, I saw like a little building down on the street that had a light that was changing color or something. Anywho, the only thing folks can do is keep an eye on this stuff. That's all we can do. As far as which conflict I think that could turn full on batshit crazy in the blink of an eye, certainly I would say Israel-Iran. And we'll see on that. I'll tell you what, it does concern me a little more and more each day that goes by, because it seems to me what they're doing, and they have said as much, but it seems to me what they're doing is really getting their stuff put into place. I don't think this time around they're going to launch a bunch of drones all the way from Iran, and take the scenic route to Israel. I don't think that they're going to do that this time. I think that they're going to do everything they can to overwhelm the Iron Dome system and the other system, something Sling, David Sling, I guess it's called. I think they're going to do everything they can to overwhelm that once again, but I think they're going to do it with much closer weapons. So we'll see. I certainly see them launching them from places like Lebanon. So we'll see what happens. So we had a interesting, I think it was just a regular commercial plane, but it was a Ukrainian plane that was flying over the other day. I had a, see if I still got that. I'm sure I do. This one. Yeah. You throw this up and show it to you. There you go. It was a Antonov AN-128P. And, yeah. Kind of crazy, huh? Kind of crazy. Kabak Air, and I think that's the Ukrainian flag. I'm not 110,000% positive, but I'm pretty sure that's the Ukrainian flag. Just blue on top, yellow on bottom, I think. Well, anyway, that flew over. Kind of nuts. Anyway, I do have one more article for you. Let me get this back out of the way because I can't see chat if something is said. Another sip of coffee. And I got things going bing. Bing, bing, bing. Yeah, it's been kind of busy in our little, our local town group. So, thank goodness some of the political posts have, lightened up. Oh my goodness, it was crazy. Well, I allow anonymous posts in the group, and I'm a firm believer in that. However, some people were taking advantage of that, and they were basically, I'm just going to say it, they were shitposting. And doing so with political posts and doing it anonymously. And for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, I guess. And so when you'd get the one side shit posting, well, then you'd get the other side that would respond, and rightfully so. I'm not, that is what it is. So I made a new rule that there are no anonymous political posts. So ever since that, things have calmed down dramatically as far as the political posts. I mean, because it was just getting stupid. And I don't understand it to begin with, because what's the point? I'm all for if you wanna talk about who you stand with, that's fine. But don't expect you're going to change other people's minds. That's when it starts to be a little, I don't know, sociopathic, I guess. I don't know. But you're not going to be changing other people's minds. So sitting there and just hammering in the same damn talking points that all the echo chambers are already hammering in, I don't see much of a point. And that's what a lot of it was. And here, all the focus was on the presidential race. And while that is indeed very important, we've got a lot of issues in our local government as well that need addressed. Pardon me. And if they got a fraction of the attention that the federal elections get, we'd fix this up real fast. So, we'll see. We'll see. Let me go ahead and do that last article. 15 minutes to make it an hour, and I'm not, I finish up a little early, that's fine too. Not a big deal. It's going to take a while, I think, for people to get used to this format, and that's fine. That's fine. Hop back over to Tel Aviv real quick. Iran has decided to attack Israel directly, as Tel Aviv's assessment. So, it says Israeli intelligence believes that Iran has decided to attack Israel directly and may do so within days. The above was stated today by the journalist of the news website Axios, Barak Ravid, citing two sources. The attack would be in retaliation for the assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran in late July, Ravid added. Israel had neither claimed nor denied responsibility for the Haniyeh assassination. Iran would suffer significant consequences if it decided to attack Israel, an escalation that would threaten hopes of a ceasefire deal in the Gaza Strip, a U.S. official said on Thursday. Don't know that they're all interested in that. Tensions in the Middle East rose further after the assassination in Tehran of Ismail Haniyeh, the head of the Hamas political bureau, hours after the death in an Israeli airstrike in Beirut last week of Fouad Shakur, a top official in the Lebanese military wing of Hezbollah. So when this article goes on, well, no, don't go on too far, I'll finish. It says U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin announced via X that he called his Israeli counterpart Yoav Galad, with whom they discussed the measures taken by the U.S. to defend Israel and the possible conclusion of a ceasefire agreement in the Gaza Strip. The fighter jets, F-22s, that arrived in the area are part of many efforts to prevent an attack, defend Israel, and protect U.S. forces, Mr. Austin said. I also stressed the importance of concluding a ceasefire agreement in Gaza that would lead to the release of the hostages, he added. That reminds me, I watched a little bit of the press conference earlier today from the State Department, and one of the reporters had asked him, more or less point blank, if Iran attacks Israel, will we attack Iran? And they were very careful in answering the question. They would not say that we would attack Iran. The only thing that they said we would do is defend Israel. And he was very specific in his wording with that. You know, the big difference between defense and offense. And I found it very interesting that, you know, they didn't want to get anywhere near making a statement that they would actually go on the offensive with Iran. So, thought that was interesting. I think that spoke volumes. And again, all we can do is sit back and watch and see what happens. I mean, it's not like we've got any direct control over any of it. Let's see. Somebody looking to get into the group. I actually added questions now. Have a feeling it's going to be... Yeah. Let them in, but I have a feeling this is going to be somebody that gets banned because they're trying to do their mobile card auto wash detailing business. Or duct cleaning. One of the two. That's typically what it's about. Oh, wait. What was the answer to that? Hang on. Potential spam. Hang on. Me and my wife have been doing car cleaning for about 6 years now. Yeah, goodbye. You're the weakest link. Hang on. Let me get rid of this cat. Banned from group. And decline the post. Now, that was like 4 hours ago and I didn't catch it. It happens. I don't hover over the group. It's not like that. It is not like that. See details. I was trying to see if I could look back at what the answers were. I don't know if I can. Oh yeah, view answers. Yay. Oh. They couldn't say the zip code, but they... they didn't agree to the group rules. And for the zip code, and the reason why I put the question of what is our zip code is because up near Chicago there's a place called Highland Park. And so we get a lot of people that are interested in Highland Park joining the group, not realizing that we're Highland down near St. Louis. And so I set up the membership question what our zip code is, because you would think that, you know, that would help them understand whether or not they're in the right place. So I have a feeling that this is going to be a mobile car wash, just like the one I banned. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Be very careful when it comes to Facebook and any type of transactions, because there's a lot of snakes going on right now. A lot of scams, a lot of schemes. A lot of it's crazy. And definitely don't set up for your car to be washed. Anyway, I think that's pretty much all I got. We'll take a peek on over back at Haifa. Make sure things look calm. Certainly does. So we should be nearing 5 a.m. over in Israel. And I think things are going to remain peaceful for the rest of the night. Sun will be coming up in half an hour or so. And, you know, just keep an eye out. There's a channel, and it's Chinese affiliated. It is what it is. The only place I can find these streams. It's on YouTube, and it's called CGTN Europe. That's Charlie Golf Tango November Europe. Charlie Golf Tango November Europe. And they're on YouTube, and they are the ones that have the live feeds that I'm pulling off of it. They're getting them, I think, from like AP or Reuters or something like that, and then broadcasting them out. They're the only ones other than the cat that's been covering Israel pretty well. No Agenda TV or something like that. And he's been posting a lot of the same streams. So, anyway, I just wanted you to know where you could get those streams, since I'm only doing this on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That way you can watch them at your will. But I am going to get out of here. And I am tired. I woke up at about midnight last night. I got up and I didn't fall back asleep until around 4:35, I think, and I didn't sleep for very long. I am whooped, and I just hurt like hell. I'm out of ibuprofen. Nothing I can do. So trying to figure out. I've got a magic, well, not magic rub. What was it called? Maxi rub, I think it's what it's called. It's a machine that'll vibrate the hell out of you. That's used for the back, but I can't use it on myself. And so I'm trying to figure out some way I can mount it to something or something so that I can use it, because I know it'll work. I just can't use it on myself. So I got to figure something out. So especially with normally I use ibuprofen and a heating pad, and the combination of the two does the trick. But if I don't have ibuprofen, it makes it rough. So I'm going to get out of here, and I am going to try to get some rest. I hope everybody has a good evening, and God willing, I'll be back on Thursday night, and we'll do this again. So hope you all have a good evening. Shalom.